Hello everyone and welcome to NFL Discussion. I'm your host and NFL enthusiast Dougie Doug. In today's episode I'm going to be discussing Thursday Night Football Week 4 of the 2023 season, Detroit Lions versus Green Bay Packers. And this was, I would say, a early preview as to who might be winning the NFC North. Both of these teams were competing for first place. One of those teams would take first place, that team being the Detroit Lions. And with that, we're going to get right into the action, starting with the Detroit Lions, who picked up an impressive victory in dominant fashion against the Packers. Jared Goff completed 19 of 28 passes for 210 yards, 1 touchdown and an interception. And Goff's night got out to a bad start when he capped the opening drive with an interception, as he simply never saw Rudy Ford camping out in zone coverage. Goff would stabilize after that, though he didn't have to do much in this game, as he got to sit back and relax as the Lions chose to run the ball 43 times and the Packers self-destructed in the first half on offense. The Lions appear poised to remain one of the league's best offenses, but Goff has only one multi-score started through the air in 4 games. The attack is built on the ground game, while Amon St. Brown's YAP work fuels the passing attack. And David Montgomery had a big night, bulldozing the Packers for 32 carries, 121 yards, and 3 touchdowns, adding 2 receptions for 20 additional yards. So the Jamal Williams role lives on in Green Bay, albeit under a different name. Returning from a Week 3 absence with a deep thigh bruise, Montgomery ended up matching his career high for carries, originally set back in Week 15 of 2020 for the Bears. Montgomery was a bulldozer all night long, especially near the goal line, where he continues to monopolize work over Jahmyr Gibbs. Demont has now scored in all 3 of his Lions appearances, with 5 total touchdowns, whose name as a calendar now flips to October. Montgomery is averaging just 3.8 yards per carry, but efficiency is not the thesis of Dan Campbell's play. He wants thunder, and Montgomery brings the thunder. So yeah, big night for him. Impressive victory over the Lions, as they dominated on offense, they dominated on defense. So good, solid team win. Green Bay Packers. So mixed bag for Jordan Love in this game. He completed 23 of 36 passes for 246 yards, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions, adding a rushing touchdown. So it was yet another erratic evening for Love, whose 63.9% completion percentage was actually his highest of the season. The first-year starter had a bad first half as the Packers fell behind 27-3. Love in the first half completed 6 of 13 throws for 50 yards and 1 interception. He was much better in the second half, but that is true of almost all quarterbacks. Love continued to miss throws high. That was not the case on either pick, one of which was a tip ball and a bad decision. The second was an end zone miscommunication from Romeo Doubs. The aerial score Love did convert came on a blown coverage. The rushing number was a gutty quarterback draw. So Love has flashed some playmaking ability, but passing-wise, erratic would be the best way to describe it. He also holds onto the ball too long, which led to him taking a number of sacks in this game. He did get Aaron Jones back on the field. Unfortunately, Green Bay fell behind so much that they weren't able to establish the run, and I think going forward that'd be a good thing for Jordan Love, is to establish that run. He also got Christian Watson back in the fold. Watson had a quiet night, not unlike Romeo Doubs, who had a career night, catching 9 of 13 targets for 95 yards. And even with Christian Watson, as I said, making his debut this season, Doubs had a career night. Each of his 9 catches, 13 targets, and 95 yards were a new personal best. He might have had a touchdown in the 4th quarter, but Jordan Love didn't see him cutting out of his original route and freelancing to wide open spaces. Love instead threw a pick. Perhaps the miscue is Dobbs' fault. Regardless of whose fault it is, Dobbs is now up to 25 targets over the past couple of weeks. The majority of his production this evening came as the Packers were trying to make a comeback in the second half. It was a similar story in Week 3 against the Saints, though not quite as drastic. So, again, with Aaron Jones back in the lineup, hopefully Green Bay is able to better establish the run. Hopefully Jordan, and hopefully the offensive line is able to step up too. That was another issue for the Packers in this game. That offensive line not able to protect Jordan Love, and Jordan Love certainly not doing himself any favors by holding on the ball too long. So gotta work on those checkdowns and gotta clean up that pass protection. And I know I said it before, but I'll say it again, and establish that ground game. And yeah, with that will conclude this episode of NFL Discussion. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit that like button down below.